majority of assets in the world are private, and these private markets are on the rise, yet they remain mostly offline. Well, that's where our next guest comes in. OWNERA is working to digitize the private markets, and joining us now to tell us more about this is Ami Ben David, founder and CEO at OWNERA. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
So Thank
you very much.
Can you tell us a little bit about OWNERA? What exactly does it mean when you say you're digitizing the private markets?
So OWNERA is building a network that interconnects basically a set of companies around the world that are all working to digitize the private shares, private securities, and put them on blockchain platforms. Now, there are many of those. There are many sources of digitized assets. There are many destinations for digitized assets. And what we are providing is a network that connects everybody to everybody and enables online instant trade in private securities with the same ease that you have when you trade public securities. So effectively today, to buy private securities, a long process, can take weeks, legal fees, lawyers, secondary market almost doesn't exist, while in the public market, you can just go and click a button and buy Tesla shares. So we want to make private shares as accessible and as available as public shares to the buyer that are actually qualified to buy them.
So, Lidar, Ami and OWNERA just released a huge announcement, and I want Ami to tell us about it.
Thank you. So we've been working over the last couple of years to bring together financial institutions and get everybody to work in cooperation and communication together. And yesterday we announced the basically Series A funding round for the company, $20 million with participation from JP Morgan, LRC Group, which is an asset management company in the real estate space, and several other investors to help us along the journey. So $20 million raise, a big milestone for the company, but also for the industry.
It's thumbs up for this amazing milestone.
A big milestone. And I have to ask, why is digital technology going to change the private markets?
Well, think about the private markets as the biggest market in the world that still operates like we were in the 19th century. People still signing documents. Every transaction is negotiated separately, signed separately. If you want to find buyers, you have to start getting on the phones and calling people. It's just a very, very antiquated environment. And we're talking about ownership of practically hundreds of trillions of dollars across private equity markets, real estate markets, and just a whole selection of private markets that are today completely manual. Now, if we can digitize these markets, a few things happen. But you can look at any other digital revolution, like the digital revolution that helped for example, in movies and in music. This is the same digital revolution that is coming now to these private markets, where instead of spending 3 weeks to 3 months to sign a deal, you can do it at a click of a button, and it's done in 1 second.
Yeah, this is exactly, like we had records in the past, and afterwards, we start digitizing those songs, and now we have streaming, and I think this is basically the same revolution what we're speaking of now. And actually, Ami is the founder of this area of digital securities. Ami, can you tell us a little bit more about the GDF consortium which you established?
Within OWNERA, around when COVID started, I published a document that called for the industry to interconnect and work together. And this document kind of coincided with Zoom becoming very, very acceptable for financial institutions. Suddenly, we were able to bring together about 80 financial institutions to talk about how to connect with each other. We did it under the umbrella of the GDF, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing digital technologies in the financial markets. And the idea was to come in a non-commercial environment where everybody can speak freely and talk about how to connect to each other. Although everyone around the table were our competitors, everybody understands that a common protocol, a common I would say, open source protocol is required so that everybody can trade with everybody. And this is the work that we've been doing over the last 2 years, which is now coming to fruition and about to be deployed.
All right, Ami Ben David from OWNERA, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Unicorn TV is brought to you by Symmetria. Symmetria offers ongoing liquidity management to attract and retain the best talents. Give your team the benefit they desire and deserve and win the competition over talents with Symmetria.